As part of We the People, celebrating 250 years, here's This Day in History. Proudly sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Well, hey, as we count down to America's 250th birthday this summer, we're sharing our We the People series, the people, places, and things of the past that have shaped our country to what it is today. Today, we're talking about our sweet Badger State.
Yes, we are. On this day, May 29th, back in 1848, Wisconsin entered the Union and became the 30th state. In 1634, French explorer Jean Nicolet landed at Green Bay. That's French, by the way, Phoebe. Becoming the first European to visit the lake-heavy northern region that would later become Wisconsin. In 1840, the state's population grew to more than 130,000 people, but the public voted against statehood 4 times, fearing the higher taxes that would come with a stronger central government. Finally, Wisconsin citizens, envious of the prosperity that federal programs brought to neighboring Midwestern states, voted to approve statehood. Wisconsin was the 6th Midwest state to enter the Union. Iowa, Illinois, Michigan, Indiana, and Ohio joined the Union years before Wisconsin did. That's This Day in History for May 29th.
Well, how about that? I mean,
Happy birthday, Wisconsin.
Happy birthday, Wisconsin. We've been doing This Day in History for many, many months now. But this one, I feel like, takes the cake. It's about us, you know?
Takes the cake, the birthday cake.
The birthday cake.
Yeah.
All right. Charlie, thanks. Tim?